Shalom and welcome to the Rabbi Avi Show. Sometimes you get the opportunity to interview someone you deeply admire. And sometimes, if you're very lucky, you get to interview one of your dearest friends. Today is one of those lucky days. My guest is Chef Yair Luria, a man I've been privileged to call my friend for 25 years. Our lives have been woven together in the most meaningful ways. Through celebrations and sorrows, through the joys of watching our children grow up, and through the deep connection our wives and families share. We speak several times a week about everything from politics to life in Israel, and we never, ever run out of things to talk about. And at the heart of our friendship, there has always been food. I have been one of the biggest fans of Yair's cooking from the very beginning. Our bond has deepened recently through shared loss. In the past year, Yair lost his beloved father and mother-in-law, and I lost my mother. We have both stood in prayer, reciting the Kaddish for our loved ones. And yet, it is precisely from this period of grief and reflection that I have seen my friend flourish in a new and profound way. He has channeled his energy, his love, and his history into his magnum opus, an incredible cookbook that is so much more than just a collection of recipes. Many of you might remember Chef Yair from my other podcast, Horizontal Conversations, where we had a wonderful, jovial, laugh-filled chat. Today's conversation is a little different. It's a bit more reflective, digging into the legacy we choose to build and the stories we tell through the food we share. His new book is called Private Chef, and it is a work of true heart and beauty. It's an absolute pleasure and an honor to have him on the show, my dear friend, Chef Yair Luria. Yair, thank you so much for being with us here on the Rabbi Avi Show.
My pleasure.
All right, so let's just get right into it. Your book is beautiful, and it feels like a project with a lot of heart. Let's dive right into it. Tell us about your new cookbook, Private Chef. What does it feel like to finally hold this project in your hands after all the work that went into it?
For me, it's like to close a cycle in my life. It was a long process from the moment that I decide that this is what I want. I want to leave something behind me when all of us going to some place one day that we hope it be Gan Eden, right? And I want to leave something behind me for my grandchildren and for my grandchildren. And the idea of cookbook came when I said shiva on my father. And I said, okay, we leave the world. We're not going to stay here forever. What I'm going to leave behind me? And all the time I think my kids said, oh, Dad, Abba, you need to write something about cookbook, maybe some jokes, maybe some stories. And this is the idea, start like that. But I never did anything to do it. And when this low moment in my life, when I need to say bye-bye to my father came, I said, okay, what is next? And I decided to go with that book. This book is not a regular cookbook. It's more like a story of my life with recipes and anecdote from my life. And basically, when I holding that book in my hand, this moment came that last week. It's unbelievable feeling. It's really, you feel like you achieve something huge. It's not something happened in like regular project that boom, you decide, okay, I have a catering next week. We organize, we swim into that like every event, and it's ready. It's not like that. Totally not. It's even not like regular book that people write. It's all in, and I explain. When you write story of your life, it's story of your life. Here we have a cookbook. You write the recipes. Also, you write stories, and also you add picture for that. Each one of them is different story that you connect all of them together in one package. And this is make everything more complicated, more challenge. But when you holding in your hand, you did something pretty big.
It is something pretty big. The title itself, Private Chef, is intriguing. It can mean many things. What does that title mean to you, and why did you choose it for this book?
First of all, we look for a name for the book that tell the story on the book, but also to catch. If you can pay, you want private chef. And someone going to see private chef and say, just a second, what this guy have to say? What this guy going to show? How I get my private chef?
The book is said to tell your personal story, as you were mentioning, through its recipes. You're telling your personal story. I'd love it if you could bring that to life for us. Can you pick one recipe from the book and tell us the memory behind it?
It's difficult to choose one story. There's so many stories there. But I think one of the story that coming actually from very simple recipe. It's about, the recipe is schug. It's hot sauce, green and red sauce. But the stories there is one of the first story in my life when I was, I think, maybe 8 or 7 years old. My older sister took me to her friends, and they are Moroccan family. They live in Ashdod, and I go there. The house smell amazing from food, and we see it. I remember me sitting the balcony, and I look up and I see many dry red pepper hanging there. Looks so delicious, and the pepper said, "Bite me." And I was a kind of chubby kids that love food, and I take a bite. And sometimes in your life you do a small mistake that stay forever. And this bite was so spicy, and I start crying, child. And my sister tried to figure out what we can do now. They give me to eat tomato and to drink some milk, and my mouth burned. All these go away after hour or two, but the memory of this story stay forever.
It really gives us a window into your world and your thinking. I want to zoom out a bit and talk about your journey. Was being a chef always the dream? When did you first realize that food was your calling?
Truly, it's not was my dream. From very young age, I think maybe I be dentist one day. Why dentist? It smell money. Maybe this is the reason. I don't know. I'm adults now, and I say, why for a child I want to be a dentist? It's look interesting, and but to eat, I like to eat all my life. I'm definitely can say I remember me in kitchen with my father and my mom and my grandma that she was incredible a cook. I like to be in the kitchen. I like to eat and I like to cook. My bachelor degree is totally not in this field. I have a bachelor degree in economy and logistics, and I was a project coordinator for many years, but life stronger than anything else. And when I came to US, after I worked to be a project coordinator, and I say I cannot find a job. I say, okay, what I know to do that can make money. And I open a small catering business, very tiny. And it grew up in Sacramento. And this is how we met, by the way. And the rest is history, really history. And I love what I'm doing. There's some years it was very difficult to run catering and to feed so many people an event. But to look back, each person have mission in his life. I think was on the wall. It was the title there. Yair, this is waiting for you. I want to believe it. This is the story here.
It seems that you just had to embrace it. You just had to embrace it. And I certainly remember those early years. And I ate your food from the very beginning and enjoyed it so much. And look at your career. Your career has been incredibly diverse, from cooking for big events like weddings and parties and even major conferences, to working with high-profile individuals and families, including NBA player, National Basketball Association player Omri Casspi. How did each of these very different experiences shape you as a chef?
Each one of this kind of events or project or catering or any mission that I did connecting to my skills cooking and running events, food events, you need different skills. For example, if you cooking, you definitely need the skill of cooking and to run people that they know how to cook. You need the skill for logistic for big events, and I think it was one of my stronger field. In between people to know how to talk to client and to let them feel that they are in the rights. And one of the things I like to tell my client, you pay me that I'm not sleep at night, and you sleep at night, you know that someone take care about you. And this is why I get the money, to make you feel relaxed and we make your event the best ever. And the other thing is, if you talk about NBA player, that young guy, 21, 22 years old, coming to Sacramento in this story, and he need to eat healthy, but he need to eat tasty. And you need to find the way in between them. You need the skill for that also. It's not like, okay, I cook, he feed, we give him pasta every day because this is only what he like. This is not the way that it's worked. You need to build a balance with nutrition and all of these things come together for a big job. When you see professional like that, you know that shortcut, it's not there. Nothing in life is shortcut. Shortcut not take you to any place. You see hard worker, he was very hard worker with focus, he know what he wants. You see it even in his life now. And when I make his food, you know that like I said before, food is a gasoline for his health, for his sport mission, and the balance here to create good taste, good palate for him, and nutrition is the most important. And the one thing I can say, he understand that. And when athletic understand this is what he need, and he know what to ask for, even that sometimes the chef or any other cook don't understand, he can explain that. You get the point, and you give him the best service.
It's one thing to cook at that elite level for a professional athlete, but it's another to bring that knowledge into a home kitchen. How did you approach translating your professional techniques into recipes that a home cook can confidently follow?
Basically, most of the recipe in my book is not complicated. And if I have something complicated, one of the smart thing I did there, I put small picture that you see the process, how to do it. I break it down to a visual. And but most of the recipes simple. For example, I have a couscous in the microwave in 10 minutes and give them different options for soup, how to make it very quick. That you put the vegetables from the soup or chicken on the couscous. Hummus in 10 minutes, you don't need to boil the garbanzo beans, and it's very quick. You buy the right garbanzo can, put the tahini in, lemon, and it's done. Most of the recipe is not difficult at all. The one that it's difficult, I break it down in a way. The method is very, very clear in the book. And I think the picture talk. And you see a picture and say, okay, I want that. And you read the recipe and say, okay, I can do it. By the way, we try all the recipe. Some we try with young student that already friend of my kids, that they try the recipe, see how it's work, and they have some recipe we took out that we think it'd be too complicated. I don't say all the recipe is not complicated. There's some more complicated recipe, but I think if you like cooking, you can do it.
So with that in mind, who is the ideal reader you envisioned for Private Chef?
Every person that like food, this is a book for him. Like I said before, every recipe you can make at home. You can feel you're in a restaurant, especially when you eat. You see the picture in the book and you eat my food. You say, okay, where's the next book coming?
Nice. And it's building people's confidence too, it seems. Beyond the delicious meals people will be making, what is one thing you hope people take away from reading and using this book? What's the core message?
Actually, I say that I don't try to send a message. The book is more like a coffee table book with beautiful picture and some funny story and some nice story, and it's fun, and it's different than any other cookbook. It's story of my life. It's story from real life. And some recipes not story. It's represent the main ingredient and explain about the main ingredient, like beets, for example, or leek, for example. That can be interesting ingredient.
Without giving away all your secrets, of course, what's one recipe in the book that you're most proud of, and why does it stand out for you, Yair?
Okay, you asked me to choose my best kids, and no best kids. It's all your kids you love, right? But if I give two recipes, for example, that I think I make something different there. One of them is the knafe. Knafe usually in the Mediterranean Arab cuisine is a noodles that special Kaddish noodles that they have cheese in between the noodles, and you put it on the stove, put syrup and serve it. What I take here, I take the same dish, but I put meat in between. I change it. And it's very interesting dish, delicious. The other thing is that you see it in my front of my book. This is the sabich. And why it's so special? Because you take some dish that usually they serve in pita bread, and I open that on a plate. Now you see totally visual of the same name of dish, the same ingredient, almost the same ingredient, and you get it in different way, and I take it to different place. And this is nice about creation, about chef, that he can do something different. He can think in different way. And it's teach other people to think in different way. You can do it in many other dishes.
I want to shift to another deep layer in the book, which is the role of faith and family in your work. Your Jewish identity is is clearly very present in your life. How do you see its connection to your food and your cooking, and not only your food and your cooking, but the philosophy behind your food and your cooking?
I try to put it that in different way, and I say it like that. I was born in Israel. I was born a Jewish person, and it's there. It's not something I try to do. It's part of my life. Uh, the Israeli cuisine is like in United States is coming from different and many cultures, from Morocco, Tunisian, Ashkenazi cuisine like Hungarian, Polish, uh, and many other cuisine, Georgian, what they call, and and this is nice about all of that. You bring many cuisine to one kitchen, and but the Jewish life is there. It's there. It's the culture.
And I know it's just kind of second nature for you, and you don't even have to think about it. You're just making food. Many people see the laws of kashrut, what we call, keeping kosher, as a set of limitations. And I can attest to that as a rabbi, that I've heard people who look at it that way. I'm curious how you see them, perhaps not as limitations, but as a framework for creativity.
Okay. Um, it's the same like the other question. It's part of my life. I don't see it difficult because I grew up into that. I was born in a house that they eat kosher. Um, Sometimes kosher, some people take it to very high level, and it's up to each person what he choose. But uh, you have substitute many things that you can use now, vegan cheese or vegan meat or stuff that you can play with, and you learn when you it's your daily routine. You find a way how to do mashed potato with no cream, regular cream. You use uh, soy cream, or you use a smart balance or any other margarine or fat that it's not meat, and you can use it or dairy, sorry, and you can use it for dishes. It's when you leave it into that, I don't think so. It's difficult. It's very easy to learn, and if someone think, oh, this is what can I eat, you can eat a lot and very well.
The life of a chef is notoriously intense. Long hours, high pressure. How do you balance that demanding career with your family life?
This question is good for 10 years ago. My life in this day is fun. I enjoy every second. 10 years ago, and even more than that, for years when I ran kitchen of resident house for 100 people, and top of that, my own catering, and many events, and cook for NBA player, and many surprises in life, and the kids is young. This is difficult. And look, in food business, not many people survive for a long time. I did it for 15 years, and I was lucky enough to change it uh, a, a little bit, to do something that less pressure, to come to be a personal chef for a family, and to choose. I have the options to choose my client, and this is a blessing. When you juggling with family, when it's so intensive, it's not easy at all. We can hear about stories that people lose family, lose marriage. I can say, thanks God, it's not happened to me, and I'm very happy with what I have, and I mודה אני לפניך every day.
You're very thankful. You're waking up saying Modani lefanecha. I'm thankful before you, Hashem,
Yes.
dear God, for returning my soul. And when you're at home, not just waking up, do you see the act of preparing meals for Shabbat or holidays as more than just cooking? Is it what we call hidur mitzvah, beautifying a commandment? Or how do you look at it when you're actually at home cooking?
First of all, I love cooking at home and love guests in my house. I'm waiting for that Friday to put the music, start cooking. For me, it's a dancing. I don't call it a do mitzvah. I really think cooking for Shabbat or make challah like my wife do every Friday, it's a blessing. It's give a bracha, blessing for the house. And the feeling on Friday when you cook and you chop the onion, and some people cry when they chop onion, but you cry here for good thing. Shabbat is coming.
This has been really insightful, Yair, and I appreciate you taking the time to be with me. Before we let you go, I'd love to get a few practical tips and then look forward to the future. First, what's one professional habit or simple technique that home cooks can adopt right away to elevate their cooking?
And I give sometimes classes for cooking class, and one thing I tell the people: taste your food. Don't cook because you have to cook. Cook because you love cooking, you enjoy it. And when you enjoy it and your soul is inside, people feel it. And you taste it and you know what people are going to taste and you feel good with what you put on the table. This is the way. Taste your food. If look, it's only food, nothing happen. If you don't put soap in your food, it's all good.
I guess that's a rudimentary, just a very, very important tip there. And
Yeah.
but honestly, a lot of people don't think of it. They don't realize that it's about the feeling that you have. And I think that's a great tip for us. And what's an underrated ingredient that you think more people should be using in their kitchens?
I think I mentioned that before in one of the questions that one of the subject we talk, and I say one is leek, and I explain, and the second is beets. Many people don't use leek. Leek is great ingredient for give a great deep flavor to any dish, meat, chicken, rice, pasta. You even can stuff leek to take the leaf, you break them down to pieces and you can stuff with ground beef or even tabbouleh and cook it with sauce. Leek is magic. The flavor is not bitter. It's give a sweetness. And you can even steam that. If you buy my book, you see some recipe that I use many time leeks. And the other one is beets. In US, even we lucky they have a beets that it's more than red color. We have a yellow color. And beets can be roasted, can be boiled, can be ground, can be in soup, can be in kube, can be in salad, many different salad. And it can color pasta. Beets is a magic. People afraid from the color, from the result of color. Don't worry about that. It's delicious. Another thing that I really think it's something that people don't use is a celery roots. It's that brown vegetables that it's the bottom part of the celery that usually you don't see it when you buy celery. This give amazing flavor and deep flavor for soup, for roasted vegetables. And I tell you, people, start to use roots vegetables, special, the celery roots. enjoy it.
Now that the book is out in the world, what's the next chapter for you professionally or personally?
First of all, I want to enjoy that moment. I'm not running to any place. It's a special moment. Let me enjoy that. Don't think about the next steps yet. I'm sure, each person will say, okay, what I do next? But I try to put this on the side and said, okay, I want to enjoy the moment. Maybe it's be another book in the future. I don't want to think about this yet. I want to see what else coming from that book. I'm sure this book will open me a doors and for many different event or even selling books. We see. I'm not running to any place. It's let me enjoy.
I think that's a safe approach. And also, it's genuine. Last question for you, Yair. After all these years and all these experiences, what has this journey with food taught you about life, community, and connection?
I'm sure, Avi, you hear that from me many times. That food is the connection between people. Food can break a border. Food is open border. Food can bring people. I can sit with people on the same table. They think totally different from me. Even it's politics, religious, so anything else. Food is the secret for friendship. Food is the key for good life between human beings.
Beautiful chokhmah for us, beautiful wisdom. Yair, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for sharing your passion, your philosophy, and the beautiful stories behind your work. It's clear that Private Chef is so much more than a collection of recipes. It's an invitation to create meaning and connection in our own kitchens. The cookbook is called Private Chef. It's available now everywhere books are sold. I highly, highly recommend you pick up a copy. And not only that, pick up a copy for your friend as well. I'm going to be buying many copies myself. Yair, thank you again for being here with us on the Rabbi Avi Show.
Thank you. Thank you. It was more than a pleasure.
And thank you to our listeners. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, like, and recommend the Rabbi Avi Show to your friends. If you want to help us to produce these informative shows, please support us through our page, patreon.com/horizontal media.